Well, I am going to Northfield. I have to stop. The paint gun machine, whatever, is not working. So I gotta get some brushes and see if they rent them. And then I have to go to Northfield. Check in quick with the crew there. Nobody's skeleton crew on Sundays. But we are racing horses tonight. Now, I don't like that kind that much. I wanted to give everybody an update on horses. Now, if I felt there was an update needed, I'd put your name on this list. I'm going to update you on the horse. They start with yearlings all the way down. Now, most of the yearling updates are, I gave a yearling video in your weekly videos. The only update would be on Broodmare Rock It, the horse that we had just bought, sending out an email to a number of our maritime clients that maybe don't know that we got that horse. I want to make sure that he gets bought up and sold out right away. Every week I get somebody saying, I haven't heard an update on this horse, haven't heard an update on that horse, and from time to time it'll just be that I went over the horse, like Melisandre. Well, she's back in training, or she's in the sale on Monday, and somebody says, well, can you give me a more in-depth update? Well, not really. There's not much I can do. She's brown, she's white blaze in her face. She isn't doing a whole lot other than jogging right now, and we'll see if that continues or is discontinued after the sale on Monday. I know what we want for those mares. Updates are on those mares also. Aunt Lily, Grand Slam Dio, and Melisandre. I know what I want for them. I know what it'll take to buy them, and I'll know more after the sale on Monday. So I'm going to run through the updates. Some of them are going to be really brief. ACDC, the first horse on the list, he's gone to Ontario. He's going to be with Harry. He's going to jog him and train him down. We're going to see what kind of horse he is. Is he a Mohawk horse? I guess looking back at his training before, I would say no, but horses mature in different ways. And, you know, if he's not, then we'll race him a couple of times, maybe at, I don't know, London or Flamborough, one of those places, and then bring him back to Ohio. If he's not going to be a stable horse of 2026, then we'll race him till he wins one or two races probably, and then move him on. And that's likely what will happen with a horse like him. But the sky is the limit. They can do whatever they want. We've given them, one, we've always given them the tools to be the best horses they can be. And secondly, we gave them the time. Can you turn that down just one block, Addie Bear? Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, good girl. Thank you. So ACDC was out in the field, and he's back in now, and he is in Canada training. With regards to Diosa Della Donza, we just pulled the plug on her, took her shoes off. Well, the three that were left on her feet, because she took one off in Delaware last week. You know, I'll be the first to admit, not the season we were hoping for. She did take a lifetime mark of 55-3, did win a race, did show that she has speed and talent. Maybe didn't put it together the way we wanted, but it's there, it's present, and we're going to give her some time to let it fill out, to let her fill out and grow up. Dune is out in the field now. She finished her season in Michigan. I would say the second best filly in Michigan, right? I think that's a fair assessment, isn't it? She wasn't the best filly in Michigan. Another Captain Victorious. I guess that never dawned on us that there might be other Captain Victorious as good as ours. So I think that was the only fault in forgetting that there was other Captain Victoriouses training down. That breed, that sire, obviously was a step above what had been offered thus far in Michigan. So we'll see. We'll see what next year brings. Are we going to buy another Michigan bred? Possibly. I would say it's likely. But we'll see. I never got to go to Ludington this year. I know that. That bothers me. I want to get back there. Emerald Tom. Now, Emerald Tom's GGT continues to fluctuate up and down. In one foot that was bothering him a little bit. We're working on that. We're looking at the last start of the year. And if it makes sense to race him in the last start of the year, we will. But if it makes sense that we shouldn't, then we won't. So that will all depend on how his week goes, how his foot is, how that liver count looks when we grab that blood on Monday. See what everything looks like. If everything's in operating order, then it's a moot point. But it has to be in operating order. We'll see how that plays out over the next week. But Emerald Tom, I know this horse would be a useful 3-year-old for us. You could tell his only issue throughout the year, aside from the, that liver jumped up once in a while, a couple of times it did, but his biggest problem was his growth. He just grew up and exploded as a 2-year-old. Trotted a mile, I think 56, 57, showed that he had talent. And I think next year when we bring him back, I want to give him, now I've said that I don't like giving the horses too much time off. A horse like him, I want to make sure we do it right. I want to make sure he's going to be a big colt. He'll likely end up going to Ontario to train back down because he's so big, training him back on a 5/8, and I think he will. He's shown that he has speed. He only needs to mature and grow up and allow his speed also to. I don't think there's a hindrance there. I don't think you'd say, no, he just can't go any faster. I don't think we've even scratched the surface on his speed. So I think bringing him back, training him back in Ontario and letting him race at Mohawk a couple of times makes the most sense to me. Had to know, same thing. He's in Mohawk right now. He's in Ontario right now jogging and just starting to train back. Here's another gigantic 3-year-old that we want to make sure gets every opportunity to stretch his legs best he can. So he is over at in Ontario right now. He'll see Mohawk. In New York, also sent him over. I just want to reset with him. We castrated him, filled out. He's not a big horse. He filled out. He looks nice. This is a horse that always had a great attitude, and I want to see how he trains down. I want to give him every opportunity to be his brother, to be Kings County, to be the best version of himself that he can be. And I think there's no harm in sending him over there. Other way for him. JK Maga is going to Ontario. JK Victory has already landed in Ontario. He'll be racing in Pennsylvania next week. So JK Maga running in a little bit, did jump on his foot the other night. I think it's pretty simple. Get him on a big track. Let his hobbles out a little bit. Let his hobbles out a little bit. I don't think you're going to see him chip and jump on himself as much. And the only question I have is he fast enough? Is 56-4 here going to translate to 53, 54 there? I want to believe so, because he's a likable horse, and he does show 53 at the Meadowlands. I want to believe so, but I guess I'll defer that to Harry and to James. What do you think of him after you race him a couple of times? He's only going to race twice. We're going to castrate him and turn him out after that. Jolene Hall hopefully makes it into the Buckeye final. She will be in Corbin. That break really screwed us the other day on multiple fronts. We'll see if she can get in. Judy's Money's going to make the final also. She will be in the final. She's still chewing at that left hind leg. So see if we can get her right for, get her at 100% or as close as we can for the final. Lifting Legend, he had a chip in his left, I'm not sure, I apologize, left or right front knee. Didn't matter. It was fresh. It was a decent sized fragment, but it came out cleanly, and the prognosis was excellent for him coming back. The plan for him, I believe, I'll revisit the notes that I was given from Dr. Cote, but I believe 3 weeks in the stall and 3 weeks of hand walking. I said rather than a smaller than larger paddock, what about a pool for 2 weeks and then in the paddock? And she said that's great. Now obviously that's later on. You're still going to have that 3-4 weeks of stall rest, I think. I'm not positive about the time frame there, and then just a brief hand walking and then into the pool for him, I believe. And once everybody's comfortable with how that knee looks, then he can go out in the field. This is another big colt that's probably going to have a decent 2026 for us. But as I said, the most important thing, the prognosis was excellent for Lifting Legend. Love Sensation sent her a big Walner filly, sent her over to Ontario. She's back jogging now. My name is Swaney. Everything went perfect. She goes to the field this week, midweek. We'll get her out to the field, and she gets her 6-8 weeks off. She raced all year with 2 tiny little OCDs in her hind ankles. Both of them came out. She's fine now, and going to be going to the field. Perfect Thought. I could have started every video with Perfect Thought this week. Obviously disappointed. The update from her is she's perfectly fine. Looks like she skipped over a pylon or something last night coming to the half. Not what we wanted, and not, just not. But she was sound after and feeling good, so she'll have the Breeders' Crown and the 3 diamonds left. Rico Tubbs was very good in Delaware. Beat fair and square by 2 horses, and just beat by the second one, who should have beat him easily. That was probably the best race of his year coming in. Now he's a Keystone Classic left. I think it's a tough crew, but at the same time, I think he's deserved a spot in there and a race in there. Going to do a tiny little bit of vet work to him, which isn't going to hurt anyway. 1 start out to the field, not a big deal. I'm perfectly fine with that. Royal Flush Dio, he's over in Ontario too. Big colt, giving him an opportunity to train down in Ontario. Supermind, I don't know what finals he makes. I have no idea yet. All these horses are on the periphery. There's no guarantees. Uncle Danny, I believe Emerald Tom and Uncle Danny were guaranteed in the Sire Stake final. Uncle Danny may have made the consolation for the Buckeye. I'm not sure. Supermind, I don't know what he's made, if any. we may just say, oh, you know what he's made? He's made a trip to the field. He's been a very good horse for us. A very, very good horse for us. And I think he's going to be incredible. We saw his weaknesses, what they were, and how to treat them. And we're going to be extremely aggressive with those issues in 2026. And I suspect if we do it right, give him the time, let his immune system and respiratory system cool down. Never bled, which is a good thing. Let them all cool down and bring them back. And right from the first day in the barn, start aggressively treating allergies and sickness and airway inflammation and soreness and redness and pimples. If we stay on that respiratory path, I think we're going to have a really good 3-year-old with Supermind. Tomboy Strong, again, same as Supermind, just waiting to see if or what she gets into. The readiness will be there, but it might all be for naught, right? We may look at the entries and see no Supermind and see no Tomboy Strong, which means they're just done for the season. Uncle Danny, he'll have at least one race left this season. And then Allure, I was just so blown away with her race the other night. 59-3 doesn't knock your socks off, but it's how she did it, how she finished up, how powerful she was going through the wire, that led me to believe that probably 59-3 in that fashion would translate quite easily speed-wise at Mohawk. And I think she'll do in the hours of 2 or 3 or hours of 40. So she'll be heading over to Ontario. If I'm wrong, blame me. If I'm wrong, you know what? She can just come back. I don't think I am wrong. She was very good the other day. Arrowhead Hanover did not get in Dayton this week. Is there a class in the Meadows towards the end of the week, or we just skip a week? Well, I guess we'll find out together soon enough. Aunt Lily, again, she's in the sale on Monday. I don't know if these fillies will sell. I have no idea if this is the right time for a broodmare sale or not. It should be. I know what they're worth. I'm not giving them away. You have Aunt Lily. Grand Slam Dio is the sister to Up Your Dio. Half sister by the Muscle Hill line, by Propulsion, to Up Your Dio and everybody else in that line, right? Aunt Lily's sister was the best 2-year-old filly in Pennsylvania the year she raced. She got injured, didn't come back. Aside from her, great family. And then you have Melisandre. This is a $150,000 yearling. This is the family of Rum Boogie and Kimmeridgian, and these are all good families. They're broodmare prospects and should be treated as such, and we should be paid as such. And if we aren't, then we're not going to sell them. And honestly, I have no idea if they're going to sell on Monday. I wouldn't be too concerned either way. Where are we at? Captain Incredible is going to come in tomorrow. He starts back tomorrow. 3 weeks off for him. Plan on racing him all fall and winter. Yes, we did not get what we wanted from Captain Incredible right away, but there's a lot of racing left. He's going to mature into a nice horse. It's just a matter of how nice a horse. We need him to be a really, really nice horse. You know what I did? I was talking to you and I didn't go to Home Depot. I'll ask Carla what she needs. Pretend that I know what I'm doing here.
Carla! I'll go in.
No, it's all right. Carla! Oh, she's coming up. You can say hi to her, yes. So, Captain Incredible comes back in. Chicago Hall is racing Tuesday. I will tell you this right now. If you've taken 13 minutes to watch this video, Chicago Hall trained exceptionally good on Saturday. Take that for what it is. I have no idea. I know he's in with the horse they paid $1.8 million for on Tuesday. You don't get to say that very often on Tuesday, but he is very, very good going into Tuesday's race. So what exactly do you need? What exactly do you need? What if I just buy one of those paint things? They can't be that expensive, are they?
That's what Keith said.
I'm just gonna go buy one. I'll go buy a paint gun, and I'll get 3 paintbrushes in case we have to touch up or anything. I'll be right back. All right?
My name's Carla.
No, you come with me. We're coming right back. We'll be back in I'll be back in 20 minutes. That's my fault. I literally meant to go to Home Depot first. You get in your chair now. Get your seatbelt on, sweetie. So Chicago Hall coming in razor sharp for Tuesday. Foxy Seaside, I'm a little torn on this one. I really believe this filly's going to go forward. I just think that she's in a class that is 100% feast or famine, and we're going to see soon enough. If we buy her back, I'm not giving her away either. And for our clients out there that are my partners that are looking, I know there's a couple of you that are looking to put together some yearling capital, maybe looking to liquidate your shares of Foxy Seaside. Fair market value for her. I think there won't be a problem buying those shares back. If we don't get what we want, then we'll simply retain Foxy Seaside. But turn that down a little bit, honey. This is a filly that I think has a little brighter future than we think, but I could be wrong in that regard. Freedom Hill is also in the sale. It goes without saying.
Yeah, how much the sideways house?
With the sideways house? Yeah, give me that.
How
I'll
do
do
you-
it.
how
So
do
you
you-
do it like this. Look, first off, you're not supposed to use that phone. It's just a sideways house like Dad's old phone. Okay? There you go. So, Freedom Hill, nice little numbers of 3 filly. The problem is we got about 5 horses fit that class, and most of the horses we're looking to acquire in the future will be of that ilk, right? That numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, and without Freedom Hill going on the track 7 to 5, 8 to 5, and then following through and getting it done, she's just present. And again, we have to get proper price for her. I think I know what she's probably worth in my mind, and then we'll go from there. I honestly, a bad day at the sale would be 0 for 6 sell, because I'm not giving Gaslight Holloway. I know I just put him in and he's back in. I don't care. I'm not giving him away. Foxy Seaside, Freedom Hill, that could be worst case scenario, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to pay too much for a horse, and I'm not going to sell a horse for nothing that I know is still useful. Every single one of those horses in the sale tomorrow are useful horses. Grand Slam Deal, same as the other mares, and Melisandre. Both these horses are in the sale because they're broodmare prospects. I don't know about the timing of the broodmares selling right now. Lexington is not over. Harrisburg's not underway. You know, a lot of the times you put them in Harrisburg because all the breeding farms have sold their horses at Lexington, London, Ohio, and in Harrisburg. At the end of the sale are the mares, and the breeders are saying, well, this is how much money we have to work with. Maybe we're going to upgrade our breeding staff, our breeding crew, you know, our breeding line. And they end up buying horses, right? We're selling these horses before any of the sales except for Ohio. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Memento Mori, I was a little... I got to be honest, was I shocked? No. Was I disappointed? Absolutely, the other day. And I just thought maybe it was him being short. Maybe he just wasn't going to fit in a mohawk. I was a little perplexed, a little angry. And then we got his blood back. And it was bad enough that it was almost a sigh of relief. Like, oh my God. Whew. So he should still be fine. His GGT was the highest recorded one of the entire year of 2025. And I think the second highest one I've ever seen in my life. 101 or 103, whatever it was the GGT count on Memento Mori, which is extremely high. What are you going to do? They're going to treat him and get him ready. I mean, Memento Mori isn't going anywhere. He's another one of those horses that are, you know, a disappointment in 2025, but still a very quality 3-year-old. This would be the type of horse, if he was up for sale, I would seek him aggressively. Non-winners a 3, especially a horse like him. When 51 is a 2-year-old, non-winners a 3 or 4. We can race him wherever we want and how the stakes are over. We have no constrictions. The only constriction is him right now. We have to make sure that blood is right. So we got to get it down. So we'll see how he goes this week. I don't know where I'm going to be at all week long. That will play a role, because if now you can still school him, but you can't ask for much more than he showed the other day until that liver starts to really come down. Nassau. I talked about Nassau, quite sick when we turned him out to the field. I don't know what was going on there. Somebody said, well, maybe that, you know, and Steve sold the horse. Maybe Steve, no, that was not the horse that arrived here. His first start, he actually made a break in the first turn, raced great, finished up strong. That was the horse we bought. But he did get sick afterwards. His next 2 starts, he was very flat. I said, we'll kick him out in the field. And I think it didn't come from the field, but I think it manifested. We saw it all come out, just gobs of snot coming out of him. He come off his feet. His horse, I turned out to put some weight on him and let him relax and freshen up, and all he did was get sick. So he'll be back in. I know I said this the last 2 videos, I think. He'll be back in this week. But I'll tell you exactly what I told James Day, and this is the farm that he's at. Bring him back to me. When he walks in the door, I'll be like, oh, wow, that horse looks great. Don't bother bringing him back before then. So I am talking to James every time I see him. Say, hey, how's our buddy there? How's our patient? And he said he's getting better, so I suspect this week he'll be back in. Raging Hanover made the break the other day. I don't know if I'm shot correctly. I did make some changes from when he came from Megan. Obviously, we were trying to qualify him on a half. His feet were a little bit sore also. So are the 9/16 enough, or should we have pads or flip-flops on him? I'm not sure. I don't know. Mike did his, Dr. Tessa did his feet and said they were bad. Now, does that mean that we need to help him more with his shoeing, his footwear? It's possible. I didn't talk to him yet about that, but I will. He'll be in to qualify at the Meadows on Tuesday. I'll give you a better idea. The one thing, he's getting his dog chain. He was pretty warm the other day. So we'll get a dog chain to qualify on Tuesday for sure. We'll see how he goes after that. Drebin is going to Mohawk to start training this week. Probably one of the most anticipated horses for the latter part of 2025 in my mind is Drebin. This is a horse that showed speed, showed 53, 54 a couple of times. Then he ended up with that tiny line in his foot. That's all been 100% healed. He looks like a bus with horse legs on it now. He is a big, big boy. So I'm very, very intrigued with what we'll get from Drebin this year. Tenacious Hanover, again, this horse has been off. I've talked many times about him not being very sound. We put Dr. Brown found the shadow, the line in his right front. Now, was that caused from the left hind, or did it end up putting more pressure on the left hind? Either way, he was off right front and left hind. We fixed the right front. Dr. Brown said he figures the left hind will be fine when we start back. So I am very intrigued to see what Tenacious Hanover is going to bring to the table for the late fall and winter of 2025 into 2026. Greatest Ending and JK Victory have both arrived here now. They are in the barn. JK Victory will race this week at the Meadows. Greatest Ending will race this week at Northfield Park. And Harry did a tremendous job with Greatest Ending. The problem is, I just can't in good faith race him for 6,800 Canadian every week at Grand River Raceway. It makes very little sense to me. So you do the math, that's what, 5,200 American? There isn't a class, the only class close to that is the qualifier, price-wise. So, we're going to bring him over here, see if we can get him rolling. Him and JK Victory, I've already told you. If we get 3, 4, 5 lines on these guys, they'll likely be in the sale also, as I am not going to be in the business of racing. As I say over and over again, that ladder type style of racing is not going to be present in the barn if I can help it throughout the winter.
How do you go Home Depot?
Home Depot's right over there, sweetheart. I'm just stopping at the car wash first, then we're going to Home Depot, then we're going back to get the paint machine and everything for Carla. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, though, for checking in. Anyway, those are your updates. I think I got them all. If I'm wrong and I missed one, please let me know. But you have a full update now on Sunday. Take care, everybody.